Hello, welcome back, ballers. This is Jacqueline, and this is Chesticles. I call it Chesticles because I have brass balls, and I tell stories that most people are too embarrassed to tell. So I was just, I don't know if anybody got to see that roast, and Nikki Glazer she's so funny, that comedian Nikki Glazer. Well, she was just on Theo Vaughn, and she was talking about how that night she had her period, and men, if you're listening to this is how we women work, so just don't judge. And if it grosses you out, then you can you don't have to listen to this, but it's a funny story. Oh my God, Jacqueline, most embarrassing things 1,000,005. So she was talking about how when she did that roast, she was out of tampons, she got her period, she just used some rolled up toilet paper. Any girl that's, has done that, if they're in a pinch, this is what happens. But it reminded me, oh my God. Okay. So I told you guys I used to be a singer. I was a lead singer in a band for 9 years. I loved every second of it. I had the greatest guitar player ever. He taught me so much, and we just got along like we were great. Then I had a great drummer who I just happened to bump into not that long ago. We talked about getting together and just jamming, and a great bass player. I was so lucky. I had the best team. And I mean, I can sing. I'm not trying to be modest. Like, I know I can sing. I have a voice, but I'm not the greatest singer in the world. But what I am is I'm an entertainer. So, like, while those guys are playing their instruments, it's kind of hard to, like, walk around and do that and get the crowd involved when you're playing an instrument. All I have is a microphone, and my microphone was cordless. So I would go and get the crowd involved. I'd do dancing and, I'm a show-off. I'm a big fat show-off, and I loved every second of the attention I got. Believe me. Applause is my favorite sound. So this one night, like most of the gigs we did, we were on the same floor. Like, we didn't really have a stage. Like, a couple of them we did, but usually we didn't have a stage. This particular gig, we had a stage. And that night I had a dress on, and I didn't have what I needed, so I used toilet paper. Okay, so I used toilet paper, and I did it because it's not even because of my period. It's more embarrassing than that. It's because when I was hitting high notes, I would pee a little bit. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Like, if I sung a really hard note or a high note or a long note or something that I really had to belt it out, a little pee-pee would come out. It wasn't anybody's fault, but I had just learned this new song, and I knew, something was going to happen. And I forgot to put a panty liner on. So I'm like, uh-oh. So I go into the bathroom, and I fashioned myself a little old, maxi pad kind of thing, just folding the toilet paper back and forth in layers. And I put it in my underwear, and I'm like, all right, that'll get me through it, right? Well, I'm up there, and every time I'd hit a long note or a high note or a strong note, a little bit would come out. But I'm up there, and I got this whole stage to myself. It's just me and Charlie at that point. We didn't have our drummer with us yet. So I'm taking up all the room I can. I'm dancing. I'm walking around. I'm like, Well, that little self-fashioned maxi pad that I made got all curled up and all crunched up because it's in my underwear, and it starts to snowflake out of my underwear onto the stage, and all of a sudden my cooch is snowing, and I didn't notice it at first because of course I'm looking at the audience and engaging, and I'm trying to be the best I can be, make sure everybody's having fun, make sure everybody's clapping, and all of a sudden I look down and I see all these little rolled up bits of toilet paper on the stage. Oh my God. Oh my God. So now I'm trying to, as I'm singing and dancing, scooch with my high heel this this mess I've made that's come from my own crotch that's just coming out. I mean, there must have been, I'm not kidding, there was like 50 pieces of little tiny pieces of toilet paper. And I'm like, oh my God, I was so humiliated. I finally somehow, I don't know what I did. I might have had to do a tap dance. I can't ever remember how I got rid of it. But when I first looked down, it didn't dawn on me. So I was like, what is that? Because I knew it wasn't there when we got up there. I would have saw it. Like, there was that much of it. And then Charlie goes, yeah, what is that? And it's right between my legs. So it's not like, there's really... God, you guys. Oh, so many times embarrassing things like this have happened to me. And anyway, I eventually kind of spread it out through the stage, and I felt so guilty because I felt like after I was done, I wanted to go and sweep that up. Like, I made a mess up there. And no one ever said anything to me. So if you were at that gig and you saw it, thank you for not mentioning it. Charlie, thank you for not pushing the issue. Picking it up and smelling it and seeing what it was. Oh my God. Humiliation station. This is why I don't get humiliated anymore, because these things have happened to me constantly. I'm walking into the wrong person's house saying party's here, or I just humiliate myself, and I don't plan it. It just happens. So another time when I was on stage, this was before I was in the band, but I was in a leadership group. And it was a pass-fail test, and you had to get up on a stage. This was on a stage, and you had to sing, or you had to recite a poem with all the energy your body could muster. So, and it was pass-fail. So they're basically just trying to get you to open up, which didn't take me, I didn't need a whole lot of that coaching. But it is true. A lot of people get stage fright. And I don't know why I don't have it. I think I got over it in second grade when that nun hit me in the head. When I was walking to the chalkboard, because it was 8+3. She said, who knows this? And I was like, oh, so I raised my hand. I knew that. And I walked down the long aisle to get to the chalkboard. And I looked back, and back then there was 45 children in a class. And I looked at the whole class looking at me, and I froze. And she said, what is it? And I was paralyzed. I couldn't speak. I was just scared out of my mind. And she goes, well, you said you knew it. And I'm like, I want to say I can, but I'm scared. But I couldn't say anything. Well, anyway, she smacked my head against the board. It hurt too. She goes, go sit down. I think that probably knocked the stage fright out of me, because that was embarrassing. I mean, I'm clearly humiliated to be up here, sister. Clearly, I knew the number, because I'm not going to raise my hand if I don't know the number. And you just don't understand that I'm petrified because I'm in second grade, and, Anyway, those nuns. Oh, there were some good ones, but boy, was there a lot of bad ones. But anyway, getting back to my story. So I'm in this leadership class, and then we had to jump on the stage, and it all had to be real fast. They didn't want you to think about, so it was one person goes on, does the poem, jumps off, pass, fail, pass, fail, pass, fail. And I'm like, well, I'm passing this. There's no way I'm failing this. I'm, loud and gregarious. So, and I still remember the poem started with hot soup out of the way. I don't know what the poem was, but we had to read this poem. So I jump up on the stage, and I'm like, hot soup out of the way, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden pee, not just a trinkle. I mean, I literally wet my pants because I was using so much force. And then I had to sit the rest of the night in my own pee. I mean, I went into the I passed, by the way. Thank you very much. I go into the bathroom, and I'm sitting there with the hand towels, and I'm using water, and I'm trying to clean up the best I can. But I can't sit there and how am I going to, and I was staying far away. It wasn't like I was staying at that hotel and I could just go excuse myself. It wasn't that kind of thing. So I sat in my own pee and smelled like pee for the rest of the evening, and I had to deal with that. But anyway, nothing is funnier than the confetti that my cooch was giving on the stage at the bar that night when we were singing, and I was just, la, 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 la. Meanwhile, little, confetti's coming out of my cooch. It's so embarrassing. Girls do have it embarrassing, I mean, I remember, when you're younger and you get a little blood on you, a gentleman would give you his jacket or his sweater or something like that. But these are nature's things, and you don't have any control. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Luckily, I always taught my daughter to keep this little emergency pack, we called it. I was like, keep it with you wherever you go, just a tiny little pack that has what you need in it. This way you won't live like your mother lived and just be constantly embarrassed. And so far, she's doing pretty good, my little angel. But yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that story. After I heard Nikki Glazer, she reminded me of it. And somebody said to me, why do you do these things? What's chesticles? Why are you doing it? Listen, I'm just doing this for fun. It's really just for fun. I have funny stories. I originally was told a million times by so many people when I would tell stories, oh my gosh, you should write a book. You should write a book. I started to write a book like notes. I had like pages and pages of notes. And I actually started to write it, but I wasn't enjoying writing it as much as I was telling it. So then I was like, I have an idea. I'll do a podcast. So this is my way of writing my book. So I'm telling these stories so you can hear them in my voice, in my memory of how they happened. And over time, they'll be there for my children, and because they don't listen to them. My family, none of my family listens, which is fine with me. Like, that's the other thing. I don't push anybody. Like, I sold MLM, everything from pots and pans to weight loss drugs to I did every MLM there could possibly be. And my family, God bless them, they supported me. All of that. And I won't push anybody to watch this. If you watch it, if you listen, that's terrific. Maybe someday I'll do it in video. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I just think these stories are funny, and people have told me they're funny. I've made lots of people laugh with these stories, so I want to make you laugh too. And it's a great idea to get it out there. That's all. That's the only reason, I'm not monetizing it, as I said before. Now, if a sponsor came to me and said, hey, I'll give you lots and lots of money if we could do what I think of it, absolutely, because there are, lots of podcasters who get lots of money, and that's their full-time job. But I'm doing this because I want to get my story out there. As you all know, I have metastatic cancer, and that's why I try to put on one show, one podcast a week. But sometimes I just don't have the energy to do it, or I can't think of the right story, but like it comes to me, and I want to tell it as it comes to me, because when sometimes I'll look back on my notes, I'm just like, I have to be in a special place to tell a special story. You know what I mean? So Nikki Glazer, thank you, because you just reminded me with your story of my story, and it's truth for women. Women have gone through that. Please comment down below if you think I'm funny, if you think I'm not funny, if you think I should knock it off. Please, I am open to all kinds of comments. I appreciate the people that listen. I love when I see somebody I haven't seen in a while and they're like, oh my gosh, I was listening to the one about the blah, blah, blah. It makes me feel great. It's just, if you listen and you have a good time listening and you enjoy it, that's all that matters to me. But thank you so much. I'm just shocked how many followers I have with all the social media, and you don't have to listen on just one social media. I'm on all of them. I'm on Amazon and YouTube and, iHeartRadio, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find me. I record on Spotify because I love Spotify, but I just wanted to let you know, I appreciate it very much. I love being able to tell these stories because they remind me and they make me laugh too. You guys are my ballers. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. We're having phenomenal weather this week here in the Philadelphia area. It's just phenomenal. And today's my daughter's last day of high school. Oh, we're going to have a nice time. Big party for her on Friday. I'm really, really excited about that. She's worked. She's been through it, man. I'll tell you, I'm so proud of her. So proud of both my kids. I definitely hit the lottery with the kid part. The cancer sucks, but I got the best kids in the world. And I know every mom thinks that, but I really do. Oh, all right, you guys. Enjoy your day. Smile, laugh. And thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Bye.